Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins. In this video we're going to talk about the 1950 Lincoln penny, and that's what we've got right down here. So we got one from the Philadelphia Mint, the San Francisco Mint, and the Denver Mint down here, and we'll get these other coins out of the way and we'll talk about them a little bit later in the video. Now I hope that you've been having a great summer. I have been. You might have noticed by me missing a few uploads. I think I missed Sunday, Monday, and this past Friday. So 3 days in the last 7 days I didn't get a video up that I should have been, but going to try and get back on schedule. Just decided to take a little break, step away from the camera. Before I took the break, I touched upon a lot of my favorites, like the 2009 low mintage coins, the Lewis and Clark nickels, the steel penny, the 2017 P pennies. So what I'm going to do now is go back to a little bit of my older methods, except try and improve on them a lot more. So in my earlier videos, what I did was just focused on one specific year, and in that year I talked about the mintages. I'm going to add this time error coins, history about that year, and foreign coins that might be from that same exact year. That's why I've got these German coins from 1950 kind of creeping into the shot right here. So the German coins are interesting and they're rather easy to come across. That's because the mintages of these are in the hundreds of millions to 300 million for each mint. Now there are several different mints that they come from, so the mintages on this like 10 Pfeffen coin that we see right here might actually be higher, we'll talk about it later in the video, than the mintages on the penny. So you can see the different mint marks at the top right here. We'll get into the details of the 10 Pfeffen coin from 1950, as well as the 1 Deutschmark coin from Germany, also dated 1950. So if you're into that, stick around toward the second half of the video, or you can skip forward if you've already seen plenty of content on the 1950 penny. Now let me zoom in on this one right here. Now let's start talking about this one right here. You can see it might have been cleaned a little bit. It's got some scratch marks going around it, but we can see a little bit of that red coloring at the bottom right here as well as at the top right here. So that's the original mint luster that comes with the coin. These coins are made out of copper, so they're gonna come originally looking a little bit more on the red side. Now if you have a coin that's 95 or greater of the surface is colored with that red coloring, that will get the RD designation from a coin grading agency. Now the other designations that you'll come across are the brown and the red brown designation, which are the BN and the RB designation. Now unfortunately, no matter the grade of the coin, if it's got that brown or the red brown designation for the 1950 penny, it's not going to be worth getting your coin graded. However, if you've got one that has that RD designation and can get up into the mint state 66 or 67, which there have been, hundreds of those that have been graded, you can get a nice return on your investment by getting it graded by a company like PCGS. So PCGS has, for the 1950 Philadelphia Mint, which will be the one at the top right here that is missing a mint mark on it, that has a PCGS price guide for a mint state 66 red at $120 and a mint state 67 at $1,100. And they have graded 66 of those at that mint state 67. They've been recently selling closer to around $840 rather than that $1,100 price guide that PCGS. Most recently at a March 2018 Stacks Barrows auction, one sold graded a mint state 67 RD red designation for $840. Now all of this information is available on the PCGS website. You can go to the PCGS price guide for wheat pennies and then scroll down to 1950. You'll be able to look at the 1950, 1950D, and 1950S, which are the coins that we're looking at today. Now the 1950D, is going to be worth a little bit less at the very top end. So that's this one right here. And we'll get into the mintages a little bit later, so that will explain kind of the rarity behind some of these. So at a mint state 67, which is the high end that we're looking at for the Philadelphia Mint, this one's going to be worth $800. And the mint state 67 for the red coin is going to be worth just $285. So interestingly, PCGS has graded many more of the mint state 67s coming out of the San Francisco Mint for the 1950. They've graded 116 of those compared to just 66 of the Philadelphia Mint. So the 1950S not going to be worth as much at the high-end mint designation. Now let's get into the mintages of these coins. As far as the mintages go, I will pull up that chart for you. So the 1950 Philadelphia Mint, there are 272 million. At the Denver Mint, 334 million. And at the San Francisco Mint, 118 million. So in the hundreds of millions, not as high as what you saw the previous decade. Now you might remember that 1944, we saw over $1 billion made at the Philadelphia Mint, as well as 1945, over $1 billion made at the Philadelphia Mint. So this one had 272 million at the Philadelphia Mint, much less than some of those real peak years that we saw a decade earlier. Now, I also want to talk about the error coins. Now, 1950 doesn't have anything really that exciting in the Cherry Picker's Guide. There's a repunch mint mark for the San Francisco Mint coin that has a mint state 65 value of just $35. If you go to the next year, 1951, it gets a little bit more interesting. There's a D over S repunch mint mark error. So that's going to be the D mint mark, which you see with this coin right here. Now you'll see both the D on top of the S mint mark. So that's a pretty cool error. I do really enjoy the repunch mint marks, and whenever you get another one that's minted on top of the other one, makes it even more exciting. So 1951 Denver Mint has a D over S mint mark, as well as 1952 has the D over S error coin as well. Those are going to be worth $150 at a mint state 65 according to the Cherry Picker's Guide. And now for some brief history on 1950. So in 1950, Harry Truman was the President of the United States. The big events that were going on in 1950 were primarily the Cold War, which started in 1945, the Second Red Scare, the Marshall Plan, and the Korean War was just getting started in 1950. As far as famous people that were born in 1950, we had Rick Perry, the governor of Texas. We also had John Kelly, who's working for President Trump right now. We also had some other famous politicians, such as Chuck Schumer. So 1950, apparently an interesting year for politicians. A lot of them were born, according to the Wikipedia page, which of course must have accurate information about people's births. And now, if you've been sticking around all this time to see the foreign coins, you are in luck. We've got the 10 Pfeffing coin, which will start right here. Now, all of these are 1950. I'll just show you the year on them, and then I'll flip them over. Now, I actually had even more of these 1950 Pfeffing coins. I just decided to show these ones right here, just based on the fact that they were in pretty good condition. So we've got two D mint marks right here. We've got a G mint mark that I just flipped over. We have a F mint mark. We got a J mint mark. We're getting some good variety here, as well as another G mint mark, and to end it off, a J mint mark. Now, the reason why I've got so many of these coins is because they are not particularly valuable. If you've got a coin shop that has a foreign coin kind of jar or bin, you'll likely come across a lot of these coins. As far as the mintages of these coins go, they're made at several different mints. The A mint mark indicates Berlin, D indicates Munich, F indicates Stuttgart, G Karlsruhe, and J for Hamburg. Now, as far as the mintages go, there are 393 million made at the D, 584 at the F, 309 million at the G, 402 million at the J, and that's all we had for 1950. So you can see in total over 1 billion of them made, maybe even close to 2 billion of them made. And interestingly, 1950 was the first year that they started using these designs right here. These were made from 1950 up until 2001. They have been demonetized. Germany uses the euro coins, much like the rest of Europe. So these coins had a rather long run to them. They're a brass-clad steel coin with a weight of 4 grams, diameter of 21.5. For comparison's sake to the United States penny, they're a little bit bigger diameter than the United States penny. Now these coins right here are worth 0.10 of a Deutschmark. Now a Deutschmark is the coin we saw earlier, the beginning of this video, which is right here. Now this one was made from 1950 until 2001 as well. Has all of those same mint marks that we talked about. So the D, F, G, J were all used in the year 1950. Now this coin has a bigger diameter of 23.5 millimeters and a weight of 5.5 grams. It's a copper nickel coin compared to the brass-clad steel coin that we were looking at earlier. Much like the 10 Pfeffen coin, it was demonetized to make way for the euro coins that Germany switched over to. So we haven't seen the obverse of this coin. Obverse is a little bit more detailed than the Pfeffen coin. For the Pfeffen coin, we have a oak tree right here. And then for the Deutschmark coin on the obverse, we see a German eagle with the mint mark down here at the bottom F. Now that mint mark will vary depending on what mint it is made from. All right, everyone, that's all I've got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A little bit different. I haven't introduced many foreign coins lately on this video, so I know a lot of you enjoy those, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing it at the end of this video. If you've got any feedback for me, feel free to let me know. Enjoy, best of luck. Hopefully you can come across some 1950 wheat pennies, as well as maybe get your hands on some German coins like you see at the very top right here. Thank you very much, everyone, and best of luck coin collecting out there. Enjoy!